Hip-hop has always had a king, a city or region that sets the tone, the style, and the rules for everyone else. From the very beginning, there's always been a place that wears the crown, shaping the sound and culture of the genre for the world to follow. And for a long time, that king lived in New York. The city's energy, its grit, and its relentless hustle were the heartbeat of hip-hop. The Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn. These were the neighborhoods where legends were born and where the culture was defined. The sound, style, and soul of rap music were born on the East Coast. The early days were raw and electric, with MCs battling on street corners, DJs spinning records at block parties, and breakdancers turning concrete into a stage. New York was more than a birthplace. It was the epicenter, the standard by which all others were measured. But then, things started to change. The world was listening, and other cities were hungry to tell their own stories, to put their own spin on the music. The crown began to feel loose on New York's head as the game expanded. Suddenly, the sound of hip-hop wasn't just coming from the East Coast. It was echoing from every corner of the country, and the throne was up for grabs. The first big shift was to the West with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, bringing a new sound from California. The West Coast had its own flavor. Laid back but dangerous, smooth but hard-hitting. It was a sound that demanded attention. The G-Funk era was smooth, dangerous, and undeniably cool. Funky bass lines, synth-heavy beats, and stories of street life under palm trees. This was a new chapter, and the world couldn't get enough. The West Coast held the crown for a while, but no king reigns forever. As the years passed, the hunger for something new grew, and the spotlight began to shift once again. The throne moved again, this time down south to Atlanta. The city became a creative powerhouse, a place where innovation thrived and boundaries were pushed. Outkast, T.I., and Gucci Mane built an empire still influential today. Atlanta's sound was bold, experimental, and infectious, blending southern swagger with futuristic beats. The city's artists didn't just follow trends, they set them. Now, something raw is bubbling up from Louisiana. The state's music scene is alive with a new energy, a hunger to be heard, and a determination to leave its mark on hip-hop history. From New Orleans to Baton Rouge, a new sound and energy have taken over. The rhythms are different, the stories are personal, and the voices are unapologetically authentic. It's a movement that's impossible to ignore. It's not just regional, it's shaping modern hip-hop. The influence of Louisiana's artists can be heard in clubs, on the radio, and across social media, inspiring a new generation of rappers and fans. Louisiana is making a serious claim to the throne. The state's artists are bold, creative, and unafraid to push boundaries, bringing a fresh perspective to the genre. The journey of Louisiana hip-hop is about survival, turning pain into power. These artists channel their struggles, their hopes, and their dreams into every lyric, every beat, and every performance. It starts with a beat uniquely New Orleans, like it grew from the city's cracked pavement. The music pulses with the spirit of the streets, blending jazz, bounce, and trap into something entirely new. The state's rise wasn't an accident. It was built by artists who refused to be ignored. They hustled, recorded in home studios, and handed out mixtapes on street corners, determined to make their voices heard. They built their empires when major labels wouldn't give them a chance. Through sheer determination and community support, they created a movement that couldn't be denied. Now, the world is finally catching up. Louisiana's sound is everywhere, and its artists are getting the recognition they've always deserved. The throne of hip-hop keeps shifting, but right now, all eyes are on Louisiana, and the story is far from over. To truly understand the roots and soul of Louisiana hip-hop, you have to begin in New Orleans, where the unmistakable sound of bounce music pulses through the city's veins. This isn't just a genre, it's a living, breathing force that shapes the city's identity and brings people together. Bounce is the city's heartbeat, the ever-present soundtrack to parades, block parties, and celebrations that spill out onto the streets. Its infectious rhythms and high-energy beats are woven into the fabric of daily life, making every gathering feel like a festival. Built on the legendary Triggerman beat, Bounce is fast, repetitive, and impossible to ignore. The music is engineered to make you move, with pounding bass and sharp snares that echo through neighborhoods, inviting everyone to join in. The lyrics are simple, catchy call and response chants, turning every performance into a lively conversation between the artist and the crowd. This interactive style breaks down barriers, making the audience part of the show. Pioneers like DJ Jubilee and Big Freedia transformed bounce into a celebration of community, identity, and joy. Their music is about more than just beats. It's about bringing people together, celebrating resilience, and expressing pride in where you come from. Bounce gave New Orleans a unique voice in hip-hop, creating a sound that couldn't be found anywhere else. It's a style that's bold, unapologetic, and instantly recognizable. It taught generations of artists to set trends instead of following them, inspiring creativity and originality in every corner of the city. This raw, electric energy is a thread that runs through all of Louisiana's musical history, from jazz to funk to hip-hop. It's a spirit of innovation and defiance that refuses to be tamed. Even as the music's themes grew darker and more complex, the DNA of bounce, its rhythm, its energy, its sense of community, remained at the core. Bounce is the secret ingredient, the spice in the gumbo that gives Louisiana hip-hop its unforgettable flavor. It's what makes the music stand out, what gives it soul. Without bounce, Louisiana hip-hop simply wouldn't taste the same. It's the heartbeat, the flavor, and the spirit that keeps the city moving, dancing, and dreaming. In the late 90s, the streets of New Orleans pulsed with a new energy. The city's bounce sound, born from block parties and club nights, was evolving fast, echoing through neighborhoods and catching the attention of the entire hip-hop world. This wasn't just music. It was a movement, a cultural shift that would soon break out of the city's borders. Two powerhouse labels, No Limit and Cash Money, harnessed that raw energy and took it global. They became the faces of New Orleans hip-hop, each with their own vision and style, but both determined to put their city on the map. Master P's No Limit Records was relentless, a true blitzkrieg on the industry. They dropped album after album, sometimes releasing new music every single week. Their strategy was simple: flood the market, dominate the shelves, and make sure everyone knew the No Limit name. Their album covers were loud, flashy, and instantly recognizable. Chrome tanks, bold fonts, and wild colors. These covers weren't just packaging, they were statements of ambition, reflecting the label's larger-than-life, aspirational sound and attitude. Meanwhile, Cash Money, led by the visionary brothers Birdman and Slim, took a different approach. They were more precise, carefully crafting their roster and sound, building a tight-knit family of artists who would soon become household names. At the heart of Cash Money was the Hot Boys, a supergroup featuring a young, hungry Lil Wayne, Juvenile, BG, and Turk. Together they brought a new swagger and energy to the scene, captivating fans across the country. Behind the boards, Manny Fresh was the architect of their sound. He blended the bounce rhythms of New Orleans with classic hip-hop beats, creating tracks that were both innovative and deeply rooted in the city's musical traditions. Songs like Back That Ass Up didn't just top charts, they became anthems, igniting dance floors from New Orleans to New York and beyond. The world couldn't get enough of the infectious, high-energy sound. The rivalry between No Limit and Cash Money was more than competition. It was a paradigm shift. For the first time, the South was proving it could build hip-hop empires, challenging the dominance of the East and West Coast. Both labels were trailblazers in business, too. They owned their masters, negotiated their own deals, and showed a new generation of artists how to be entrepreneurs, not just performers. They took control of their destinies, setting a new standard for independence in the industry. By breaking barriers and kicking down doors, No Limit and Cash Money paved the way for the South's rise in hip-hop. Their legacy is felt every time a Southern artist takes the stage, proving that New Orleans changed the game forever. Master P was more than a rapper. He was a visionary businessman. He started selling tapes from his car, then opened No Limit Records, P understood grassroots marketing, winning over neighborhoods to win the world. His deal with Priority Records was revolutionary, retaining 85% of profits and owning masters. This independence was rare and game-changing. No Limit's output was staggering, a strategy of overwhelming force. Albums like Ghetto D sold millions, turning family into stars. Master P sold a lifestyle, the American dream with a Southern drawl. His blueprint for independence is a model artists follow today. He showed you could build your own table instead of begging for a seat. While No Limit flooded streets, Cash Money perfected its formula. Manny Fresh's beats were the engine, blending bounce with national appeal. Juvenile's 400 Degrees was a cultural reset, driven by Back That Ass Up. The Hot Boys became superstars, with Lil Wayne emerging as a phenomenon. Wayne's mixtape run reinvented what it meant to be a rapper. The Carter Three cemented his status as the best rapper alive. Cash Money produced the biggest rap star, building a dynasty that continues today. As New Orleans' spotlight faded, Baton Rouge developed its hip-hop identity. The Trill movement, combining true and real, was born. Boozy Badazz and Webby became voices of Baton Rouge's struggle. Their music was raw, emotional, and deeply rooted in street life. Boozy's honesty made him a hero, while Webby complemented his energy. Together they painted vivid pictures of life in their city. Kevin Gates added melodic flows and honest confessions. This trio established Baton Rouge as a center for street rap. Baton Rouge's new generation of superstars has taken over the internet. NBA YoungBoy is a digital phenomenon, one of the most streamed artists. His music is raw, filled with pain and aggression, connecting with young audiences. Fredo Bang, once YoungBoy's friend, became a rival, fueling their music. Their rise represents Baton Rouge's journey in hip-hop. They've adapted raw storytelling for the streaming era, making Baton Rouge a street rap capital. What makes Louisiana hip-hop so compelling? Authenticity. It feels real, raw, and unpolished, telling true life stories. The sound from bounce to Baton Rouge rap is unique and forward-thinking. Louisiana rappers are masters of narrative, rapping about consequences and survival. These stories resonate globally, tapping into universal themes. The world can't look away because it's a story still being written. The drama is real, creating a powerful connection with listeners. Louisiana hip-hop feels vital in an era of disposable content. Louisiana hip-hop is a cycle of rise, fall, and rebirth. The streets inspire music but also create dangers. Legal troubles and violence are constant shadows, yet the scene's resilience is remarkable. New voices emerge, keeping the music fresh and vital. The culture seems unbreakable, evolving with new faces. Louisiana's impact on hip-hop is permanent. It's shown the power of independence and given a voice to the voiceless. The next chapter will be written by today's kids in Louisiana, and it will be worth listening to.